All right. Good morning, everybody. Good day. Today is Friday, January 21st, 2022. Welcome to Headline Hits with LW. How you guys doing this fine Friday day? Good to see you all in chat there. All right, so we're gonna just dive in real quick. This might be a little short. There is quite a bit in the news, but some of it I just wasn't worth talking about. But I thought this was pretty important. Lots of prayers have to go out for our family in Australia, um, because their government is really just they're putting it to them. To be honest with you, with all the lockdowns and everything else going on, it just seems like more and more restrictions and stuff that's going to happen. So let's dive into it. The Australian Parliament votes overwhelmingly to introduce mandatory vacations for all adults. In a vote of 137 to 33, Australian Parliament has overwhelmingly voted to make vacations against the Wuhan sickness mandatory for all residents over the age of 18. Uh, I feel sorry for you guys, man. I'm gonna keep praying for you. So Australians who have taken one or two doses uh, of the Wuhan vacation, except for the Chinese and Russian new variants, will be considered fully vacationed. But those who refuse to take the vacation could face a fine up to 3,600 euro, which in American dollars, that's $4,072, is the fine that you can get in Australia if you decide that you're going to push back and not take it. So, undercover police officers to inspect um, vacation passes, papers, as Australia uh, just keeps the crackdowns coming. I mean, this is insane. As UK is getting ready in March to do away with all the restrictions due to the mandates, the Czech Republic is following suit. Australia is double and tripling down. So those who are not able to be vacationed for medical reasons will be exempt from the mandatory vacations, along with pregnant women. Those who have recovered from the sickness will also be exempt for a period of 6 months after they recover. So there you go. That's a report out of Australia. Let's hit the next headline. Let's talk about something that's pretty ugly, something where I stand as pro-life. So the March for Life in 2022 proclaims equality begins in the womb. I totally agree with that. The 49th March for Life in Washington D.C. will take place Friday, January 21st on the National Mall, beginning at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is right now. It's starting. So the theme for the 2022 March is equality begins in the womb. One of that highlights how the true equality is only possible if we recognize that children in the womb also deserve protection, says the March of Life organization. I totally agree with it. I think, in my opinion, life begins at conception. So there is, for me, no other. You cannot convince me one way or another. From that, I think it life begins at conception. I mean, if scientists say that amoebas and all these microscopic um, entities are living entities, why wouldn't life begin at conception? I guess I'm confused on the science of that. All right, let's move on to the next headline here, and we're going to talk about climate change. Okay, so Josh Hagley, DHS, creating, listen to this, woke climate programs as illegal aliens storm the U.S. and Mexico border. President Joe Biden's Department of Homeland Security, the DHS, is creating woke climate programs as the United States Mexico border is stormed by border crossers and drug trafficking, says Senator Josh um, Haley, a Republican from, I believe it's Minnesota. Last week, DHS Secretary announced the creation of a climate change professionals program where the agency will, quote, recruit recent graduates and current federal employees to support the department's growing focus on adapting to climate change and improving resilience. This program will develop the next generation of climate experts, improve climate legitimacy throughout the department, and help U.S. execute for climate action plan to remain mission resilient while reducing our own impacts on the environment. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because by 2025, they want zero carbon emissions. By 2030, there's all kinds of stuff up there. Project Paperclip, all kinds of stuff out there that you can read up on. But these guys are out of their damn minds. There's no way possible for us to be zero carbon footprint ever, ever. The science doesn't back it. Fossil fuels or fossil fuels. There's ways of, I've worked in the industrial world. There's ways of scrubbing that and making the carbon dioxide cleaner as it comes out. But you also got to think that plants rely on carbon dioxide. So we will kill ourselves if we go zero carbon emissions across the globe. Think about that. And what do plants give back as a byproduct? They give off oxygen as a byproduct. I mean, these guys, I don't have to be a scientist to just think that these guys are completely stupid. All right. Same guy talking about the same thing here in this next headline. So the DHS chief, justice and equality for illegal aliens is Joe Biden's agenda. I found this very interesting. The Department of Homeland Security Secretary says President Joe Biden's national immigration agenda centers around justice and equality for illegal aliens living in the United States. While speaking at the annual U.S. Conference of Mayors in Washington, D.C. this week, he was bragging about imposing a so-called sanctuary country, orders that prevent the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, agency from arresting and deporting most of the nation's 11 to 22 illegal aliens that are in this country. Yeah, I'm not making this stuff up. It's right here in black and white. They do not want any of these illegals to be expedited and to be removed from our country. Throughout the last year, the orders successfully freed into the U.S. illegal aliens accused and convicted of child sex crimes, armed robbery, drunk driving, burglary, cocaine trafficking, grand theft auto, heroin trafficking, credit card fraud, money laundering, and other crimes. And these are some of, I'm not saying all, but these are some of the people that are crossing our border, and they don't want any of these people to be deported. Period. That is their agenda. All right, let's head to the next headline. Here we go. Joe Biden mocks stupid question, end quote, from reporter asking about the president of Russia, Putin. Joe Biden ridiculed a reporter Thursday after she asked him about Russian President Putin. Why are we waiting on Putin to make the first move, sir? The Fox News reporter asked. And as he walked away, there was a hot mic. What a stupid question, Biden replied in a comment which was picked up by the audio engineers as they ushered the reporters all out of the room. Putin has a stark choice, Biden said, either de-escalate or diplomacy, confrontation or the consequences. So Biden's talking big, but we all know he doesn't have the stones to do anything about it. Putin is not afraid of us. Well, I should say Putin is not afraid of the Biden administration. Putin is also not afraid of the UN. So whatever's happening over there on that border is going to continue to happen because Biden doesn't have the stones and he has zero respect from world leaders, especially Putin. Putin doesn't respect him at all. Period. All right, let's head to the next headline here. Let's talk about the Supreme Court real quick. NewsGuard defends NPR after fake news Supreme Court masking story. I just thought this was a little bit interesting. So, NewsGuard, the establishment news rating project that claims to fight untrustworthy media outlets, is cautiously defending NPR as the establishment media outlet continues to claim that the U.S. Supreme Court Justice Neil and Sonia are at odds over masks, even after the statement from both justices and Chief Justice John Roberts debunking the story. So it goes further to talk about how they really feel about wearing the things on your face. It shows pictures of more than half of the justices wearing them, some of them not. We all know that they don't work. So they can sit there and argue it all they want. Hopefully, they'll come out with a ruling that says they're going to do away with it. But the reporting that the justice, that both of them said wearing a mask surprised us, it's false. While we may sometimes disagree about the law, we are warm colleagues and friends. So a lot of division there, and they're saying that we can disagree, but we're still friends. Just make a damn ruling. We know what the truth is. All right, last headline here. I found this more of the dumpster fire that I reported on yesterday. More dumpster fire here. The GOP leaders on Biden's first year worst human rights record of any modern U.S. president. Several Republican Congress members joined the House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, a Republican for California, at a press conference on Thursday to mark President Joe Biden's first year in office, ensuing scattering remarks and slate of crises they said were a direct result of his presidency. So they went on to say that America has faced a year of unprecedented crisis. Let's talk about the crisis. American people are facing an economic crisis, an energy crisis, a border crisis, an education crisis, a crime crisis, and a worsening COVID crisis and a national security crisis. These crises are directly a result of the failed leadership and the far left social agenda of Joe Biden and the congressional Democrats. Well, we talked about that yesterday, the 5 things that he has failed miserably at in his first year. You can't make any of this stuff up. He is definitely in some big trouble. Is anything going to come of it? I don't know. But I highlight it because I think it's newsworthy to point out that the most popular president of all time, the man best suited for the job, he can't seem to hold it together. He doesn't even. I watched a video yesterday where the Secret Service even pointed to him his right turn to go to the side of the building on the sidewalk, and he just kind of meandered out through the lawn like he was lost. I mean, dementia is thick with this guy, and he has no clue what he's even doing. So I don't know if they pump him full of drugs to do press conferences, hoping that he'll hold it together. But if you remember back on the campaign trail when T and him were debating, T asked for a UA, a urine analysis, because he felt like they were pumping him full of drugs just to try to keep him coherent enough to complete a debate. And if you remember correctly, they even canceled 1 or 2 debates. They canceled because they blamed things on T, but in reality, I think they were thankful that they had an excuse to cancel the debate because Biden wouldn't be able to hold up against T in a debate anyway. So, all right, that's headline hits for today. Thanks for joining us. We'll be on later this afternoon, 3 at 3 on Podbean. So if you guys want to jump over on Podbean and listen to the 3 at 3, we'll be on this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back later tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We'll see you there. All have a great day.